All right, welcome to the coffee break. This is the episode number 85. Actually, we are very much approaching the end of the year, right? So we have today, and in 2 weeks we have one more, and then we have a quick break. But yeah, happy to have you for the 2023 year. Hope it was interesting to join this year. We'll of course we'll continue next year. As usual, this is a very open space for any kind of questions or topics that you have. And let me start with you. If you have any questions or topics that you'd like to bring up, as usual, just raise your hand, open your microphone, camera. Anything interesting going on? Except the year is ending, so yeah, almost there. Let me start with Moses.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I noticed Mr. John Wu is on the call, otherwise known as John on software.
Yeah.
I'm cloning the project for design automation, working on work shared files. It's a project, a tutorial for design automation where you import and export door parameters, comments, and fire ratings. I got it working. My plan is to modify this to update project information parameters, like where's the project located and so forth. I noticed that that when I'm doing this design automation process, other individuals should not be in the file, even though it's work shared. I wanted to confirm that's how design automation works, that other people should not be in that file in a work shared setting.
So is John still here? No, he left for some reason. So that sample, as I understand, that specific sample, it's not using work sharing models, right? That sample it was not prepared for that. You can change the sample to use it, right?
Yeah, it's updated to work with work shared models.
Oh, really? Okay. Do you have the link there?
Give me a second.
Yeah.
And I'll copy the link. Let's see. This is there's two versions. One for non-work shared models and one for I think this is I think that's it. So that's the GitHub, and it says
yes. Oh, I see now. RCW. Yes. Okay. So I'm checking if Zong is coming back, because then he will be able to answer the question better. I don't know the details there. I would expect that it would work, right? You just have to check out the piece that you are interested in. So other than that, it should work. But that said, let me wait for him to come back so we can double check.
so. I did find I got it working locally with the ngrok running and everything. I just noticed that I tested whether I could be in the file like through ACC and Revit, and when I tried to sync, it told me that I was no longer in the latest work shared file. So it seems as though the best strategy is to check whether anyone has that file open. I'm not certain programmatically how I would achieve that. And so that's my question: is anyone doing that with design automation?
Yeah. So I would suspect that it's possible, right? Because that's the reason for cloud work sharing, I believe. But anyway, I'm calling Zong here. Let's see if he's available. Oh, he was, right? He was here. So I'll just give it a moment and do check in.
No worries. I did check out some office hours I think next week with Zong.
Yeah. By the way, that's the sample Moses is talking about, right? And yeah, so yeah, I'll just wait for him to come back. Yeah. Cool. Okay. I'm pinging him. Just give it a moment. Otherwise, we try again. But I saw someone else with his hand raised.
Oh, let me.
No,
I think.
you're good. I saw someone else. I don't remember who was it. But then, okay. Any other topics when we get there?
Hey, Augusto, Shygon here.
Hi,
Um,
hi.
hey, it's been a long time since last time I joined the call. I was working with Reconstruct, if you remember. We joined these calls a year ago, and I'm with another company. Um, we're using Forge for a mobile app that we use. It's basically running right now on iOS. It's on iPad. And we have a big problem with adoption because the app is supposed to work when people are at job site, and job sites usually don't have internet connection. We went down this path to find if there's any official way to support or cache basically the SVFs on the client side so that they can run the app without internet connection, but apparently there isn't an official way that Autodesk supports. So I was curious to know if there's any resources or anything you can let us know we can get help from. By the way, I'm a product manager. I'm still waiting for my devs to jump on the call. They're not still around. But that was just one question I have. We can get back to others and come back to me or however you like it.
Yeah, so actually, you can use the browser cache for that, right? So there is a interesting article by Petra on this topic. I'm showing here. I'll share the link on the chat, right? So it explains details on the steps, right? On what it means to use the browser cache. So this is the browser, right? Meaning that you store there everything that you need, including your own application, not only Forge related data or APS related. This article is a bit old now. So all the data that you need, right? And here's an application that uses this, and you see that it's using local workers and all of that, right? So there is a way to do it. It's
Mm.
not from Autodesk, actually, right? It's a browser technology.
Got it.
And here's a sample on it working. Let me share here. Okay. So did you try that? You said it didn't work, right? So
Well, we haven't tried. It's actually not running through browser. It's an app. We build it with um, what is this thing? Flutter. So it's a Flutter app. It's not really a browser thing. I don't know if it still works.
okay. Yeah, so
Can
yeah.
I can I add something?
Yes.
Hi. So basically, if you use a native framework, you could use extra parties, like as async storage is called. You just need to install it. I use that with React Native and Flutter. I guess they're using something similar. If you just Google a storage or like a Flutter native, so there is documentation how you store it. It acts as a session or cookies how you store it in the browser, because it's two different things. Because better article is how to use in the browser, which is you have a local storage, how to store all the data you wanted. But when you deal with the native application, it has their own way how it works. So one of the things I use is called async storage, that it might help to store all the browser data.
Got it. Would you mind sharing a link? Thanks much for the help.
Yeah, of course.
There's always someone else doing something similar.
Yeah.
Thanks, Abed. Go. Does it help?
Hopefully, yes.
Okay.
I'll send all this information to my devs.
Mhm.
They didn't show up, so not sure
Well, we'll be sharing the recording later and
Oh, perfect.
refer to
Okay.
it.
Well, I'm part of the developer
Oh, there you
team.
go.
Oh,
I'm
There
just
you go.
collaborating. Well, from what I'm hearing, I'm guessing that we have two ways of doing this. One is just creating a web application, and we just embed the web app in Flutter. So anything, the backup and the we should catch everything offline in the website and just display that information in the Flutter mobile application. I believe that might be just one way. And the other way is well, actually that's what come to my mind. From what I hear him, so we should just create a web app and just render that in Flutter, isn't it?
I think that's what close to what Abed is suggesting, right? To use the async storage feature or package, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm just let me share here the link that he shared, right? Yeah. So that's what that's what he's suggesting, right? Because he's using a React Native app, and what I was showing before was how to use the browser caching, but you cannot do that because you have application, right? Not a web app.
Yeah.
Yeah, so say try this and see how it works, right? The other extreme option will be to, and I'm sharing here as well. You download a copy of the SVF, and then you serve that. You either embed that on your app or have that on your app, right? So the SVF, there is SVF and SVF2, right? SVF2 uses very small pieces with WebSockets, but the SVF it's a bigger download that you can grab that thing, that collection of files, and store it locally. So that could work as well, but it's a bit more complicated, right? Because you have to store them locally, point to it, so it's a bit more, especially for mobile applications. If you have
It's
a
kind of tricky.
yeah, that could that no we can you can experiment with that as well. So that's also an option.
I just shared the package for Flutter actually. They have something similar. I just sent a link so you can check it out as well.
Thank you. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, and also there's other things because I've been developing an app back in old days that also all the markups, all the stuff they can locate it inside because I believe you want to do it for maybe business commissioning or facility management on the side. To, for instance, you see this door is not correct, so you want to make markups or whatever. So all of it could be stored to this, and then as long you can check the internet when you are connected back, you can insert it directly to the database. So basically, you need to do two steps. First of all, check if there is no internet, you store them there, and when there is internet, you can reinsert it. So it's basically just checking the internet, and of course, you can select what model you want, and as Augusto says, the process shows the process how you store the SVF2. You can store it exactly for the Flutter local storage. The link I just sent.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, I will do some exploration with that. Probably next call I come up with something.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Abed. Thanks, Shaigan. Right. I saw that, Jose, you raised your hand.
Hello, Augusto. ¿Te puedo preguntar en español?
It's in English only, mostly because of other people. You can try, if you can try English as best as you can, so others can also understand what you're asking. Si puede preguntar en inglés, porque los otros también pueden comprender.
You send a question in the chat.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Moment, please.
My Spanish is I did went to try Spanish a lot of classes and other things in Spanish, so I can understand some of it, but there's lots of other people as well. All right.
My English is very bad.
Don't worry. We all have English as a second language, so
Yes.
most of us. Ronan.
Hi, yeah, I have a question. I have an application that creates projects in BIM 360 right now. I'm utilizing the APIs to do so, but we plan on moving everything to ACC. I would know if there was a recommended way of moving all projects over to ACC, or is that something I'll have to develop, or is it just a matter of changing that flag in BIM 360 to move it over to ACC?
So you wanna move projects, the files from BIM 360 to ACC?
Yeah, to ACC. We will basically want all our projects over in ACC.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I think that is an option to migrate, right, in the product.
Okay.
But is that a different? You need the features, right, from the new version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe there is you don't actually have to move files. You can just switch them. Migrate.
Okay, yes, that's what I wondered. If it's just a case of switching them, that would be perfect. I didn't know if I had to develop anything. And to be honest, I don't spend a lot of time in BIM 360. I'm more of a software developer, so I don't know
Okay, yeah.
ins and outs of BIM 360 and ACC. I just know how to interact with the APIs.
Yeah, no, I think there is a way there. I'm trying to find here the screen for you. Give me a sec.
Thank you.
Or maybe if anyone else knows it. Anyway, it should be there, right? It doesn't make sense to. I believe so. Let me try here. Probably have to do a one-off migration of the project itself, but it should be possible. If not, I'll definitely ask and share with you.
That'd be awesome.
I guess
Thank you.
I guess if it's based on S3 bucket, right? So in AWS they have documentation in general how to move object between buckets. But if this is the case, I guess the data management, it has an API to move, but I can't remember if it moved from BIM 360 to ACC. But in data management, there is moving not the hub, but folders and projects. So I'm not
Okay.
sure if it's from ACC to the BIM 360 or the other way around.
Gotcha.
Can you hear me? There's a code which is in beta for moving projects, entire projects between ACC and BIM 360. It's supposedly links and things like that are kept. It's under beta. You have to search for ART, which is a Autodesk replication tool, and then sign up for the beta.
Oh, okay. I will do that.
Yeah, thanks, Jonathan. All right. Lots of sharing today. I love it. More when people know details of other things. Thank you. What else we have?
I just sent the link actually to how to move from BIM 360 to ACC platform. I just sent the link there.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I was trying to find this one as well, but yeah, glad you find it. Yeah. All right, Shagan?
Yeah, hi. I have a question related with the extraction process of the SBF. This is only possible for SBF 1, not is that possible for SBF 2 format? And what are the limitations of these two formats?
Yeah, you mean that link that I shared on how to download the files, right?
Yeah, no, there's a GitHub repo where we can extract the SBF file from the specific translated model.
Yeah.
But what if we want to access to the SBF2 format? Is that possible with that process?
Yeah, so that blog shows for SVF. because in the end, the SVF is a collection of files that you can actually download, right? So that works. For SVF2, it's more like a database that we send pieces of data, right? So we don't have a way, or we don't have any code sample or anything showing how to download those pieces and rebuilding that locally. It's a very big implementation in that case, right? So what I'm saying is that sample to download the files and serve it locally, it's for SVF only, not SVF2. Now, what are the differences, right? So SVF2, it's an optimization on top of SVF. And especially when you have large models, it's faster to load and show the files. The biggest difference is that SVF2, it's optimized on duplicated geometry. So every time you have something that is very rectangular, right, and it optimizes to load faster in the viewer. So SVF2, it's faster to load and render. Yeah, so that's the biggest difference there. So it's an improvement on top of that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, so let me try the question from Jose. So geolocate the model on an Esri map to be able to have a detailed view of the exact location of the plant. In the future, add operational patrols that allow the issue report on the location where the person is and the plant is reflect on the model. Can Esri map be placed as a background that allows to geolocate the model in the location of the map in the Forge viewer? Okay, so in summary is how can you merge a map and the viewer, right? Yes, you can do that, right? So the first question is who is hosting what, right? So is Esri or the map hosting the viewer, or is the viewer hosting the map, right? So there are a few samples out in the web showing how to host the viewer inside the Esri viewer, right? So that works. And there are also samples showing how to host maps in the APS viewer. So for instance, there is a Mapbox Forge viewer sample. Let me see if I can find this easily. Yeah. Let me share here. Right, share. Right. So this is one way, right? So you have the viewer on your application, and you are hosting, you are adding the Mapbox interface to it, right? That one way. The other way, I've seen that before. The problem with the other route, where you host the viewer inside the other geo viewer like Esri or Mapbox, is that you lose the data inside the model, right? So and each viewer is optimized to do one thing, right? So the APS viewer is optimized for geometry and metadata, and map and in the map kind of viewer is optimized to show location, right, maps. So if you host on the other, you lose that feature inside it, right? So in here, for instance, I'm losing, for this sample, I'm losing the map related feature in my viewer because I'm hosting inside the APS viewer. So you have to choose which route you want to follow, right? But yeah, it should be possible because all of them, in the end, they use 3JS. So it's just a matter of grabbing the data and rerouting that graphics in 3JS. So this sample here shows like that, and explains a bit more about tiles and how it works. And yeah, so I think that will be a way for you to start if you wanna still maintain this data here. Now, another way is that you can get the APS viewer, the building, right? The building information, and convert that to GLTF, and that should be even easier to host, right? But again, it's mostly the geometry. You lose most of the metadata because of that. So GLTF is also another route to do something like this. Now, the interesting piece is that the viewer, the APS viewer, once you have a building like that, you still maintain the geolocation information. If the original model has it, the APS viewer will also have it, right? So you can convert from let long to XYZ inside the viewer easily, because there is a geolocation, I believe, or geo extension that allow you to convert from one to the other, no, and vice versa. So you can do this kind of calculation. So there is a APS viewer geolocation extension that we did before. Yeah, minimap. I think that's the one. Yeah, I did this a while back, right? So where you get the model and have a a panel here with a map that draw a box around your model, so you can see where your model is. But again, this just summarizes this extension here, right? Here, yeah, push coordinates, yeah, here, polygon set map. But where is the extension that allow me to move data? Yes, here, extension, yeah, LMV to let long and let long to LMV. So you can convert from one to the other. So you can convert the information between one and the other. So does it help, Jose?
Yes, Augusto. Thank you.
All right, so we are like 3 minutes away. I just want to show you something very quickly before we finalize, but you know, if you have any questions or any other topics that you'd like to bring up.
I wrote in the chat, mistaken for someone to his comment.
Say again, sorry?
I wrote a message in the chat about SVF1 and SVF2 observation I had. So basically, I tried to, by mistake, I provided env and API options of Autodesk View initializer method, and I got SVF1. Maybe it's not how to say it. It should not be like that, but maybe this is the way to go. My model was definitely SVF2. I tried to use new filter and new selective loading feature, and I just copy pasted from old sample and provided old values to this options object API and env. Exactly. And it reported okay, selective loading was not working, and I tried to check model is SVF2 method, and it reported false. So probably it's possible to get SVF1 files even if the model is SVF2. Maybe not, just.
So Adam, you're going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say that because currently, even if you ask for SVF2, we also generate SVF, but it might change in the future.
For sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had a problem just with selective loading. Then I fixed it with providing correct Autodesk production tool and streaming V2 values.
So Ronan suggests you look at the scope.
That was in response to Jonathan Talisman's comment above.
Yeah. I'm trying to process it. Yeah, I think that's a .NET specific thing, right? So, Jonathan, have you tried to use, so we have a beta for the .NET SDKs that includes data management. Are you using that new SDK or the legacy SDK, the previous SDK? So the new one is available already. It should be easier to try it, and it should be easier to convert those types. So if you haven't tried that one, So we have a new version of SDKs for .NET and also for Node.js. They are in beta yet, and we're just looking for feedback. The .NET is getting in well shape, in a good shape, but it's Node.js we are still reviewing lots of things. Yeah, so maybe that could help you as well. Quick question for you here. What other language are you using? We have SDKs for .NET and Node. Where should we go next? So I have some data from usage, but I'm curious about you here as well. Which language should we go next?
I guess we keep the TypeScript, but to type if we could type everything, all the extension, all the stuff.
Oh, I mean, for the viewer side, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So those SDKs are for the server side REST APIs for now. But I get it, right? So we're still missing to have TypeScript for viewer. So that's something that should have it in the future.
Yeah, because it will save a lot of time.
Yeah, I hear you, Jonathan. The documentation is still missing. We're finalizing that. Yeah, okay, I have that ready. All right, so we are just a bit Next.js, but that's still TypeScript, right, Michael?
Yeah, exactly. It's okay. React in the end.
Yeah, but it's run in the backend.
But it is TypeScript, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Next and other things that are frameworks, not languages.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Okay.
So Python and Go. Yeah. So Python is probably second from now. So the current plan is to go for Java next and Python after that. Yeah. So Go is very small yet. So I would say that less than 2-3% use Go. It's very small compared looking at our database. Yeah.
Augusto, I have a quick question if I have time. Even we are exceed the time, 3 minutes.
Yes.
If the answer would take more than 1 minute, we postpone the answer for next time. So basically, it's regarding AI. Actually, the question. So basically, I'm using the new API from or the GraphQL. I'm query the things I want for the 3D model, and afterwards I'm vectorizing the JSON, and I'm storing it in the vector database space. And then after that, I'm using ChatGPT to interact with my vector data. All of it works. I can ask any question about the model. It answers precisely. But I'm wondering if there is any of us that find a way how to select the element at the model at the same time.
So you wanna get the answer and then select the model?
Exactly. I'm getting the answer, and there is no mistake at all, but I'm still struggling in a way how to select the element. So use those method viewer.select and pass the DPID.
Yeah,
So
probably when you ask the question, you could probably ask for the external ID and then use that to select, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm getting all these data, but the idea is how to trigger the method at the same time. That's what I'm struggling with. I'm just thinking about it voice loudly now. So I'm not sure if any of us have done that before. Otherwise,
yeah, so we did a prototype with this kind of with an internal prototype that we showcased at DEF CON on how to have chat-like AI, chatbot-like AI that selects in the viewer, right? As I recall, we used the external ID. So once you get the answer of the information that contains the elements and the metadata of the elements that you have asked for, and use the external ID to show the viewer and select inside that viewer. So that's how we did it as well.
Okay, great.
Okay. All right. As shown here, the next coffee break will be, come back, will be in 2 weeks, same time, same link. So the next one will be the last one of the year. Then we're taking a break and then we're coming back early January. So yeah, so be sure to join the next one, and we can celebrate Christmas together, or early Christmas. Thank you very much for joining today, and see you in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.